Teacher Kozub.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kozub. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the process for downloading a file from the internet and saving it to a folder on your computer, on the school computer. All right, so first thing first, you're going to be on your desktop, probably looks different than mine, and you're going to see some icons. There's probably going to be more than just these ones, but these should be in some of those icons. All right, so you have a few options for what web browser you're going to use. Now, a lot of people like to use Internet Explorer because they're familiar with it and they've seen it. And it's developed by Microsoft and it's kind of old and it works sort of sometimes, but it also doesn't work all the time. So I actually don't recommend you use Internet Explorer. And there's another one that you might have heard of called Edge. I recommend you don't use Edge. I recommend you use Google Chrome because Chrome is, it's just a better browser, generally speaking. It's made by Google. Not that that necessarily means it's great, but it does work quite well. It's a little bit faster, I find, and it's just sort of easier to use. And more websites tend to work with Chrome. So usually I use Chrome. I use it at home. I even have it down here on my taskbar. You can see that. And I never use this one. You can even there we go. That's better. All right. So Chrome is what you're going to want to use. So go ahead and open that up. And yeah, you probably know how it works, right? You can go to different websites. You can search something or whatever. And you have your bookmarks potentially. This is my browser at home, like I said, so these are all my bookmarks on here. Anyway, say I want to download a file. Okay, well, let's start by say you want to download an image file. So say you want to have an image of pancakes. So I can just click in here and type like pancakes. Press enter. It's going to pop up some stuff. All right, if it ever pops up something like this, Google wants to do this or that or whatever, I always press, well, Google is okay typically if they know your location, but if you don't really want them to do that, you can press block, or sometimes I just press X. But you shouldn't just press allow blindly, because if you do press allow, what that means is that basically certain websites might be getting access to your information, and they might start using that information to harass you or try to sell you stuff or install software on your computer potentially. So you definitely don't want to just blindly click allow. You want to think about what you're doing. All right, so I searched pancakes. I'm going to go to images here. This is Google Images. Great. Look at all these beautiful pancakes. So which one do I like best? Another thing to know right now when you're downloading an image actually is if you hover over it, you're going to see the file, the dimensions for the image. So 2000 by 2500 pixels, that's a very large image. 710 pixels by 470 pixels, smaller image. So that's good to know depending on what you're doing. If you're doing stuff like stuff that you want to make like printing or something like that, you're going to want to use larger images where possible. Anyway, I like that one. It's got some fruit on it. Click on it, image pops up there. So here's how you save an image in Chrome. Right click, save image as. Easy, right? Click on that. So your download sort of like where do you want to save the file window pops up. Excellent. You're going to want to save it to various locations. You might want to save it to documents. By the way, if your computer doesn't show all this stuff here, you can just click on that little arrow. But you might want to save it to Video D, which is where you might have your folder set up for my classes. So that might be useful to you, or whatever documents or wherever. Anyway, choose a logical location, okay? And I'm going to save mine into Mr. Kozub. And I'm going to just say, like, maybe I'm making a poster, like pancake poster. So I'm going to make a new folder, actually. I just did that by pressing new folder. And I'm going to double click in there. Now, here's some more information about saving a file. Here's your file name, okay? You're going to see it says Fluffy Pancakes New CMS. That just happens to be the name that whoever put that picture online gave it. I might want to give it a different name, like maybe just pancake. Oh, I hit caps lock. Pancakes. And it's going to have .jpeg at the end. You may be able to see that, you may not. The JPEG actually refers to the image type. JPEG is a photo. So that's that. And you can see it actually says that down there as well. So you don't need to change that. Don't do that. And then, yeah, just press save. Great. It's going to show me that it's down there. Okay, in Chrome, it pops this little downloads bar thing open. I always just click X out of that because it's annoying to me. If I do want to go find that image, now that it's on my computer, I can go to my File Explorer, click on that. And I did another video about how to navigate through here, so I'm not going to go into that. But I know I saved it to Video D, so I can click on Video D. I know I put it into this folder. And I know I put it into here. And I can go in there and look, there it is. Great. Beautiful. Perfect. so I can have that and use it for whatever I want it for. All right, so that's how you do an image, but you might be saving other stuff as well. So for example, sometimes your teachers have a website that you might want to download a file off of, or there's all sorts of things you might want to download online, right? So I'm going to just give as an example my website, mrkozub.weebly.com. It's already in there, but I'm typing it anyway, and press enter. And I just know that I have a few files up here, so I'm going to demonstrate how to download them. So I know I have some files under my courses page under social studies, for example. All right, you can see here's some information about a test that happened. And here's a test review. Okay, so if I click on that, all right, what's happening is Chrome is automatically saving that file somewhere. It just did it automatically. Now there's a problem if you're doing this from a school computer. And the problem is, by default, where does Chrome like to save files? Well, it likes to save them in a folder. If I go back to my file explorer here, it likes to save them in the downloads folder. The problem with that is that you guys on the school computers cannot access the downloads folder. And that's just because the IT people in the school division were thinking, well, we don't want people to install like games on the computers, so we just won't let them save to the downloads folder, which sort of makes sense, but really doesn't make sense, because then the question is, how do you save a file? If you legitimately need to save this file, how do you do it? So I can do it because I'm on my computer at home. But here's what we need to do to actually be able to save that file in a logical way. Well, there's two ways, I guess. So I'm going to show you the first way. I can right click on this, and depending on the way the website's set up, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. We can try going save link as, and that might pop up this thing, and it might just work, and it looks like it's working right now. How do I know it's working? Because it actually says file name Canadian Justice System Test Review .docx, and it says the file type is Microsoft Word document. And that probably makes sense, because what was I downloading? I was downloading a test review. So that probably makes sense. That's actually the right file. So if it's working like this, great. I can just take that. I can maybe go to my video D drive, my folder. Maybe I'll make a new folder, right clicking new folder. Maybe I'm going to say this like social studies or whatever. And oops, press the up arrow to go up a directory, social studies. And I can just press save. Okay, sweet. So that's saved now. Now, however, sometimes that doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, here's what you might need to do for Chrome. You'll have to change a setting. And the way you're going to change this setting is with these three dots over here in the top right corner. If you hover over, it says Customize and Control Google Chrome. Click on that, and we're going to go down in here to Settings. Click on Settings. It's going to give you some random information. What you're going to do, these are your settings for the browser. You're going to go on this side on the left to Advanced. Click on Advanced. Click on Downloads. And you'll see Downloads up here. Location, that's where it likes to save it by default. But what we're going to do is we're going to change this setting. Ask where to save each file before downloading. It's currently selected to no, so it's not going to ask us to save. I'm going to change that to that. So it means yes, it's going to ask us every time we download a file, where do we want to put that file? So I can do that, and I can X out of settings. And now if I click on, here's a test review, you can see that it's not automatically downloading it. It's popping up this window. Where do you want to save it to? Okay, great. So it's the same file as before, right? So it's actually just, it's trying to make a copy. How do I know it's making copies? Because it has the 1 in brackets there, which is saying it's just saving another copy of it. So I can save that. Now I have two copies of that file, and I can go access them in my file explorer. Mr. Kozub, social studies. There they are. Look at that. Great. So that's basically how I download a file in Google Chrome, which again is the web browser that I recommend you use most of the time.